second. All right. Yeah, I don't pick any of those. We definitely we don't need any politics stuff. Let me get my chat correct here. Pop out. Thing got me crazy. That's what I get for scheduling it for a certain time, right? All right. The voting stream. No, we'll try to leave that out of here. So, look at Frederico in the house. That's it. Yeah, there ain't much hair to cut, you know, but you know, so. Let's see if we can get things lined up and get on the game tonight. Got a few things. Maybe we'll get to them, maybe we won't, whatever. What's been happening out in the world except for missing another hurricane here. Yeah, getting my rain. I missed. That's actually, we went out to dinner and that sucker just missed us. I mean, pretty close. Just missed us. I got a little bit of rain earlier and that was it. So, I think this is kind of the better one. MSN. It shows the historical. Yeah, it's a little blown out, but yeah. So came up through, and I think we got just a little piece of the rain. So, but it's 2020. What else, right? What else? So, what's up, Dan? Yeah, I remember. What was the Dan? I can picture your icon in Discord, but I can't. It was like Dan Med or something like that, or Matt or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. Well, yeah, it'd be Dan Med, right? That's duh right there on your name. What's up, Dinotech? You're a little closer to the action and the fun over there. So, so we'll jump. One thing I did want to check is I need to see if my Nightbot thing is working first. So I want to make sure before I did all that. Have you watched which live stream? Home Ace? Yeah, Dan Med, that was it. So if Nightbot is not going to work, we'll have to do a, of course, maybe I hit join channel. I haven't used it in a while. It should be back in there. Let's just see if it's in here. For the commands, because I want to make sure this works. Otherwise, we may have to do something else with the users and stuff like that. So, because it was saying the bots never play. Yeah, it did say join channel, but it should be back in there. I don't know. Maybe I should have joined it before. Because now it's not showing any users or anything like that. So, We maybe have to do the email thing on the giveaway thing or something like that. Because I've been sitting on my desk for a while, and Reolink gave me a camera to give away. So, yeah. See, it says leaving channel. So y'all just maintain right quick while I work through this one little thing here. It should be, should be in the moderators list of the channel. We'll only join ones that are live. Okay. We'll give it, maybe it'll catch up after a while. We'll take it out and then we'll add it back, right? All right. Save. All right, we'll see what happens there. We won't. What's up, Pickle? Yeah, we ain't stopping the stream. I'm not going to do that. I don't think you're ever going to drop Mqtt, Will. Out of Tasmota or Tasmota, however you want to say it. I hate to stop the stream and then start it back up just for the freaking Nightbot thing. If there's any, maybe there's some other way to do it. I don't know. What before, one other way I did it, just whoever wanted to enter, I just did I know it was kind of a pain in the butt, but I had everybody kind of emailed, and then I had to print out all the emails, and that was kind of a pain in the butt. Maybe what we'll do is when we get time, I'll get time to do that. We'll just start and stop. So, because I don't think that's crazy. Oh, wait, is it back? If it's here, I will be... Yes, it is working now, looks like. We'll see what it does. I can see numbers. Yeah, everybody always kind of picks on me about yeah, it is working now, so we won't have to stop and start. Good deal. So got off my game, everybody, and I knew I had one thing I forgot, and that was the stupid Nightbot stuff. Yep. So we will start off with, I know Will was talking about it, and if I'm too low on the audio or too high on the audio, y'all feel free to let me know. And yeah, go ahead. You said you make an announcement. You can if you want to. Whatever, as long as it's nothing political, we're good with the announcements on that. Will. Try to keep all this is the escape from everything of 2020. So on the one big thing I wanted to talk about and show was Frederico has been working on this, and I'm bumping the mic here if I can get it out the way. We'll just search for it. Is an Montememory? I always want to say Montre or something like that. I just want to butcher the name. Just say it real fast. Oh, okay, cool. With doing the Dig Unos. Very cool. Yeah. So it is an integration for Tasmota. And yeah, go ahead and roast me and pick on me the way I say it, like everybody else wants to do, and then want to pick on my hair, which is fine. That's all good. So I did play with it a little bit, and I have Eric. Okay, well, that's much easier. I got the Eric, Federico. So if you have 9.0.0.3, which is the dev version. So I got a couple different ways. I know everybody's like, well, what's the dev version? Is that bad to run dev? Well, it's, don't, I hate to tell people like, hey, just go upgrade all your stuff. And I do. I try to keep up most of my stuff upgraded because I try to help some people and everything. But it is one of those things you're looking on the documentation. If you really don't need a feature, just don't go upgrading your stuff, especially on something that you cannot recover. Like say it would have been like a light bulb or some sort of switch or plug that you did till you convert on it before. But we're gonna go over. I got a device here that's on like 6.5 or 6.6, and I wanted to kind of go through some of the upgrade procedures. So, but we'll do that here in a little bit. But basically, before we jump straight into it, is I know people are like, well, we had set option 19. Well, you got to turn off set option 19, and it still uses Mqtt. So, and I was looking through some of the pull requests, and it actually uses looks like a different retain value. And why is my stuff, we're going to start this nonsense. I see, am I still live here? I see the live just paused on the screen for some reason. Looks like it caught back up. Okay. Let me leave the stream health up. So it's basically, you won't have to put in the set option 19, which can be good or bad. And it will just pop in stuff automatically. In integrations. Yeah, it was weird. I'm watching, probably shouldn't watch that other stream health. It said stream health excellent, but then the video that's a few seconds behind had the little spinny thing. It kind of freaked me out there. I was like, oh, here we go. Because my internet did drop for like 5 minutes, about 7:45. I don't know if that's due to they were rerouting stuff around New Orleans or whatever. So, but basically, as you can see, there's actually a Tasmota integration now. And I have one device in here, and it automatically brings in the sensors. You don't have to do set option 19 or anything like that. And I'll kind of show some of the stuff on there. But instead of waiting until everybody go to the end, I did have this. I did talk about it earlier. Let me pull it up here. And no, I'm not trying to make y'all buy something. But they said, here, you want to give away one on the stream? I'm like, sure, sounds good to me. We can do that. Now, for other people outside of the US, if you win it outside the US, you won't get this camera because it's going to be too expensive for me to ship this camera. It won't make sense. We'll figure out something else. Me and you will, if you outside the US, we'll do a PM thing, and we'll figure something else out for you. So, but if it's US, that's fine. We'll just give away the camera thing. So it is, and I do have it up right here. It is I've done a review on a similar model, the E1 Pro, which is 4 megapixel. It's not PTZ, it's PT. There is no Ethernet. And I'll tell you the bad first. There's no Ethernet. There's no web interface. It does have, it does have RTSP, and you can pull it up into whatever application you want. And also, I know in Blue Iris and a couple other different apps, the PT controls worked as well. And on this one, the PTZ controls work as well, unlike, say, the Sonoff camera or some other type, like say the pan and tilt Wise cam that you don't get the PTZ controls. So so it's a pretty decent little camera. It does have a little SD card. It does have 5 gigahertz 2x2 MIMO as well. So so if anybody wants the camera, make sure you're chatting. Like I say, if you're outside the U.S., I guess I'll keep the camera and figure out something else for it, and me and you will figure out another way to get you some sort of camera ordered to you through your local something. So we'll figure it out. Let's see. Before. So I do have it new in the box. I did not. This was this dent was courtesy of. I don't know if I think it came UPS. I don't remember what carrier it came, but yeah, both my other one came kind of dented too. It's fine though. I have not opened it. You can still see the seal is still done on it. So and it says do not accept. So. And just to show real, since they did, it's a pretty cool camera. Since they did give it away, I'll give them a little. I'll show a little bit right quick. Yep. Let's see if this works. So this is the we're gonna start getting feedback. This is the app. Dude, you say it's new. It's new. What? Oh. Where's the PTZ? Yeah. So you can. Now I probably don't have it on high quality. I'm sure. Is it here? Yeah, we'll do clear. There we go. That's much better. And you get to see. So this is you get to see my wonderful, messy desk and everything. And it should do the zoom thing here. Yeah. So, pretty decent little deal. It does autofocus and whatnot, so we'll close that. And I've already ADD'd on it. Desktop icon overload. Yeah, I need to go clean it off. So, no, that's the Arcade Best. That's not the web interface. That is the Reolink app that you can install. That's the Windows version. I think they may have a Mac version. I'm not sure. And they also have one very similar for Android and iOS. On this camera, there's no web interface. That's the only downside, but it does have RTSP. It's once you use, I don't use the web interface that often. So, but all right, no further ado. I've already ran my mouth enough on it. Let's drag this over here and do giveaway. We'll add everybody in. Active user. Supporter gets no luck, regular luck. Users active within the last 5 minutes. We'll just say the last 15. And we'll just let it build up. I guess it should have built up. Oh, no, I actually need to put this the other way, right? In the past 1 minute. Or something like that. Or is it backwards? We'll leave it as 5. Past 10 minutes or something like that. Yeah, maybe I'll start popping in. YouTube keeps timing out. It shows we're in excellent condition. I'm gonna scroll up and down the list. I can always find something else to run my mouth about. So if you win, holler. Well, then we'll send me something on Discord, and like I say, if it's too much, we'll get me and you will get together. If it's too much to send to another country, then we'll probably purchase you something over there. So. And that's that camera. So we got 51, and I should make y'all wait to the last bit of the stream. So I'm gonna scroll up and down the list once or twice. If you don't see your name, jump in. Yeah, see if we can break the chat, right? And we're not gonna make you a comment or a like on the video. We're just gonna make yeah. And if you do want to be skipped, just let me know. Say, hey, yeah, skip me and re-roll it again. So, but yeah. So if everybody's ready to go, then I'm just gonna hit it together and rock and roll. So, all right. It's never gonna chill out, is it? Whipped it up to 65. Skip me. All right. So we're going to count to 5 and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're up to 71 and we'll roll it. All right. So we got Viking Sunset DIY is the one that won everything. So I want to say I saw Viking's name in Discord. So before. So yeah. Well, that, like I say, this Reolink did give this to me, so appreciate Reolink, and we'll send it out to you. So, where is, if Viking will send me something? I see I saw the sweet thing, so I'm sure. I think I saw Viking in Discord earlier today, I believe. So, alrighty. So, and I'm trying to do. I got to go through a bunch of my other stuff, and I may not have boxes to some of this, but stuff I'm not using, and if y'all feel y'all may want it, and I'll just pay shipping and ship it out, and there's less stuff in my thing, then we'll do that on some giveaways or something like that. So, all right. Don't forget to send me something on Discord, Viking. And so back to that boring Tasmota thing, right? Let's see. We can close this guy. And all right. So for the integration of the new, you will need to be on version 117 of 117. I guess they haven't done a .1 yet, right? I probably shouldn't pick just yet. I'm sure they're probably already looking at some stuff. So you do need to be on 117.0 or better. I'm sure there was the betas and stuff, but those kind of out of the thing. And I want to do the secret decoder ring. Yeah, sometimes. So you do need to be on there. They're showing 99003, which is the dev version. And yeah, I do have a device we're going to upgrade from 6.6 because I do get that question quite a bit. Is how do you upgrade your older devices? What's the safe way to do that, etc. So, but once you do that, really all you need to do in the device, and I'm going to drag this one over here, is this guy here. is this one is on 9903, and all I've done is this is a simple, just a simple Node MCU, and I did a VML 6070 sensor, and then this is just a simple little capacitive touch button, but we'll get to that later. I don't have it configured. And I do have another LED. So we're just making up a simple device that's easier to handle on the desk. But basically, all you'll need to do in your new is just one less step. You remember how you're only doing that set option 19? You won't have to do set option 19. You will need to go through still, and if I need to put the stuff on the screen, Travis should speak up, is you still will need to go in here and do your configure Mqtt. And so that's still going to be the same stuff. And this is just a little test VM I have. So, but you will need to come in here and put your, your host name, user password, topic, and in configure other, you'll need to put your device name you want. Now, you can do all that through the console, but yeah, you can, whatever way you feel comfortable doing it. So, but once you do that, you don't need to do set option 19. And the reason why, because I always like to show the back end of things, is in Mqtt, if you look on your Mqtt server, you'll see Tasmota and Discovery, and then here's that device, and that's how that integration. So it's kind of like a different way, and I know Frederico's still here. It's kind of like a different way of, it's auto discovery, but without you having to turn on discovery in Tasmota. Oh, thanks, Ricker. Appreciate it, sir. Definitely helps out things. And so this is how it gets things. Now, I did find that, well, from Mqtt Explorer, of course. Explorer, yeah. It's Mqtt-Explorer with the guy with the big smile. Don't ask me to smile like that, because and then take a picture. Props to him for doing that. So, yeah, is that a security flaw of auto discovery? What do you mean a security flaw? Yeah, meaning HA's pickup that was needed from the broker and free. Right. So you don't have to go and turn it on. The only thing I'm going to ask Frederico is, what if I have a device? I know I'm kind of a weirdo, and I know that, but in some cases, I don't want all of my devices added to Home Assistant. There's some devices I just don't want in there at all. I just control them with Mqtt. I don't ever want to control them with anything in Home Assistant at all. So is there a way you can turn it off? And yeah, we're going to do kind of a Q&A. So if I do miss a lot of your questions, don't hate on me. I just want to try to get through some content, and we'll probably do some Q&A towards the end. If you can hang on that long. So yeah, like basically this device, all I did, okay, not now, okay, good. Because I would want some sort of thing I could turn it off, is basically all I did with this device. I flashed the latest dev version, which we'll get to. I keep saying that. Threw a couple sensors on, threw it in Mqtt, flipped over to here. I'm going to close this. Where's it at? Integrations. I flipped over to here and boom, I had my device in here. Now I know I have it kind of zoomed so it's chopping off like the index and stuff like that. So you could set, it'd be nice, you could set which Home Assistant, like the Home Assistant topic. I have four. You have four HA instances all on the same MQTT server. Yeah, see, I have two on the same MQTT server. And so I'll show you how we can get different switches and stuff, Aaron. Now, MQTT, you can have MQTT traffic in, there is versions with TLS, and you could do the certificates and whatnot. You can do encrypted MQTT, but I believe you do need to do a custom compile for that of Tazmoto. It just depends on how, I guess if you don't trust your home network, then you would want to do, possibly want to do some encrypted MQTT. I know the ESP8266 is there. It does take up a lot of memory and stuff like that, so they don't compile it in. I don't know if they do on the ESP32. So, but yeah, it's pretty, it is pretty cool. It's pretty simple. It pops in and everything changes. I don't think I have anything under there. Yeah, so it does pop in everything, and I don't know if it's going to, let's see if it'll cover. I don't know what's the, I guess it's telemetry time. Yeah, the telemetry time on this is going to be different. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, under the telemetry time, it only reports the sensors every 300 seconds. Unless you did some sort of rule that would force it to kick out the new information. So, yeah. Yeah, if secure, yeah, there's, yes, yeah, definitely encryption does not play well in 8266. It's just that chip's doing a whole lot to begin with. So yeah, it's pretty cool on that. Let me move this out the way. Yeah, the teleperiod. Can you have a single topic for MQTT with Tasmota installation? So what do you mean by single topic? Like when you go into configuration MQTT, this topic here, you always want it to be unique. You want it to be unique per device. You know, like even if it's something that's like, say you got light switch number 1 and light switch number 2, you always want it to be different, because the real big problem is the last will and testament will post that device is offline, will mark it as unavailable when actually it's on the network. Yeah, you can put them on a VLAN if you want and just block everything but MQTT. That's fine. I mean, I don't have it. I kind of do that. I let them go out to the internet. I mean, they're just ESP chips and open source. So, but so there's no set option 19 involved. And so let's go to, I wanted to, with the upgrading. So I guess before, there's really nothing crazy to this. I noticed if the lights will pop in, the switches. Now the switches, it looked like, and I haven't used this in a while, as I haven't used switch topics. If you keep in mind, if you do use switch topics as listed here, and you have rules, and I pretty sure that's still the case unless there's something I missed. If you use a switch topic, you will not be able to use a rule on that switch, like if you're trying to grab a state of that switch. So, but I do have a button assigned to it. And supposedly, let's see if we can turn off without calling out to the voice assistant. And we'll pull up a, we'll see what happens on the, so this is just one of those little capacitive touch, and you can see it's doing single. And I did enable set option 73. And what that is, set option 73 is that multi-press. So you can do double press, and then you can do 1, 2, 3, and you can do triple press, and that way you can grab all those actions. Now, I believe what it talks about is buttons will be added automation triggers when set option 73 is enabled. Now, I'm not big on doing automations, and I do a lot of node red, but there should be an automation trigger in here. Yeah. So this, I thought this was kind of cool. You can do without having to kick in to do anything crazy, is you can say when button, short press, double press, triple press, quadruple, etc. And that way you can just, you know, hey, I want to do something in Home Assistant. I want to turn on some other type of light switch when we do a triple press. "35 presses for every switch." You got to make it in like Morse code, where like, I think there was one I saw someone do in ESP Home, was where it was like they had the long press, and then you had to let go, then short press, then long press twice, then short press, or it was something weird they were doing. I was like, how the hell are you going to remember that? But it was some sort of like password they were trying to do with a switch. So yeah, Aaron, if you have a traditional light rocker switch with 3 switches, and when I connect to a Node MCU with Tazmoto installed, I have each switch with a separate MQTT topic. Yes, that's actually, you can do that. It's really simple. If you just want to do a, you can do it in a couple different ways. It's going to be automatic. Like, say if you wanted to go ahead and put them in as well, if they're actually switches. So you'll assign them as switches. Make sure your switch mode is set, because they're going to stay in either the on or off state. And you could do just a rule for each one. I've done that before, where I've had like multiple buttons like these, and have them in a panel. I probably have a video on how I did it with like switch 1 and switch 2. And you can do because you can do your own, like say if we want to do rule 1 on, now this is buttons because this one's set up as a button. Button 1, state, we're just gonna do state for right now. Do publish, let me get this out the way. Publish. And we'll just say state, and you can put anything you want here. And I'm just putting topic in percentage wrap, because that'll always put the topic that you have assigned to the device. But like I say, you can put whatever you want here. And we'll just say BT1, and then the value. And then we'll turn this rule 1 on. And now when we do touch the button, you can see now it sends 10 to this topic. And just to see, if you come in here and look at stat, maybe I didn't do it, it's doing topic. No, that's actually different. What was our topic again? Taz Node MCU. There it is, BT10. You can actually see it's right there in MQTT. So if you want to do now to a different topic, we'll do rule 1 plus, which means append to that rule. We'll do on button 1 state equals 11. 11 is going to be the double press. We'll do publish, and you can put whatever. Again, you could put my button 2, and you could say just send a payload of press to it if you wanted to. And I think I typed that one right. So now if we do double tap, we're going to get the double. We're going to get the 11 because we still have that rule, but then we have the button 2 equals press. So with rules, you can really do whatever you want. And we should have now in here, I should have a my button 2 equals press. So you can put up like, you could hook up 7, 8 buttons or whatever to the GPIO pins. If you had a GPIO expander, you could put a bunch of buttons on it. If you had an ESP32, you could put a ton of different buttons, and you can point them in all the different directions from double tap, single tap, whatever, to what topics you want. And then you could drive all of that off of any type of automation in Home Assistant or Node-RED or whatever. So, hey, what's up, Alex? Yeah, so yeah, it's especially with the GUIs make it easy for doing some of the simple stuff. Like that's why I was trying, showing here just, hey, that we didn't, to do this button 1, we didn't have to do any type of rule coding or anything like that. It just goes right in, it's automated for the GUI. But if you really want to get into something weird, then it's just jump into the rules and you can do some rules. If you need help on some sort of what you're trying to do, jump into Discord, and there's several of us in there can help out with rules, and I'm in there as well. So to do the upgrade, I know a lot of people. Let me turn on my power supply. Because I need my Sonoff SV to be on. I just bumped the camera. If you can see the light. Yes, you can get, this is with any command while I wait for that to pull up. Anytime, if you type anything you want, now I know my screen is like, it's because I'm zoomed in because I'm trying to be mindful of some people watching on tablets and stuff. If you want to know what a setting is about, like you want rule 2, just type rule 2. Do you want to know if set option 19 is on? Just type just the command. Don't put any value with it. And it will show you what it's set to without changing it. Hey, what's the group topic set to? Oh, it's set to Tasmotas, and 2, 3, and 4 are empty. So if you ever want to query anything, and I shouldn't have hit I hit the F1 key or something. If you ever want to query anything on any command, like let's see, topic, it's whatever. It's just all right there. Yeah, or if you want, there's no way to just like list every single thing. It will list it. You can see it's right here. So I just typed in rule 1. You can see it says rule 1's on, and how much space is left. You can see it's right here on what I typed in, on button, publish. Yeah, oh, that's right, Frederico, I forgot. You can do that. Is do rule 0, and it shows you so there, Frederico's got the answer. Rule 0 will show you all 3 rule buffers. Don't call them rules, even though it's rule 1, 2, and 3. it's buffers or buckets of rules. Is there any rule for a Tazmoto push button that will, while holding it, will dim a Shelly dimmer? I wonder if it's... I wonder if you could do something like one of the switch mode. I don't know. I don't know that one. It's because then that would be on a different device. I don't know if you could do that. I had to ponder that one. So, yeah, your switch mode 12. Now, could you do that switch mode 12 to another device, Patrick? I don't know. It's almost what I would do is, if you're doing another device, is on one push, on one, I would think if you did it on the button, I'm just trying to think, I would do it where when the button is depressed, it sends over and keeps looping, but then when you let go, it stops looping. It could be done, especially with Node-RED. So, yeah, you could do, based on that switch mode, I think you could, I don't have to mess with that. You could do I think on a release, if you have the right switch mode done. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't think about that. That's neat. Actually, I'll have to try that because I got a different install I'm trying to do this weekend of switching out some stuff I had in my bedroom with fan controllers and stuff. So, so I'll have to get back with you on that one, Alex. I'll see what I can come up with on it. Let me pull up this guy. Is old in the tooth. It is 134. And no, it's not. I think the only reason it's dark is because of the Dark Reader plugin. Yeah. Alex, I don't know, hit me up on, either shoot me an email at, so I can try to help you see if you can get, I want to do that one. Because I'm actually going to be using some buttons with some downlights. So it's kind of the same deal. I'll be sending a button to a dimmer. So that would it'd be cool to work out. So, no, I have not done the SK68112s. I think I remember that one. We went and found it can control them, I believe. So, because it uses that fast lead. Yeah, 65012, Federico. So, before everybody gets me off on the game, I'll have to put a marker in here somehow. If you want to upgrade, here is the key. If it ain't fixed, don't break. You know, if it ain't fixed, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, but hey, right? We want to play with a new feature. I can say that this works. Is come down. I search for flow, and I'll post a link here. I think they do have a link, a direct link. And there's a couple things I do because of the older to you convert and everything. My Mqtt does not list my devices, and my Mqtt logs keep showing. Either you have some very old SDK versions of Tazmoto, which had the Mqtt Connect issue on some Wi-Fi, or you just may have some Wi-Fi issues. And no, Mark, I had planned to do this before. I have done some direct, and don't follow me on this. Do not. I have done some direct upgrades from 6.6 to like 8.1, but they were on devices that if I had to recover them via serial, I could. So, but I don't have anything way this back far. I reached back, and this is about as far as I could without making something up. But what you want to do is, I'm above 611, is you do want to, you want to go ahead and download these. And I know it's off the screen. Here it is right here. You'll notice that these do point to the light bin files. So use the light. That's like they used to be, I think in 6 and 5, they were called basic, or before 6.5 or basic. There's just smaller versions. And I'll kind of explain here in a second. Well, I'm going to go ahead and download the 7.2. It should download for me. And I may rename that in the background because I saw it go to Tazmoto Lite 3 or something like that. We'll do Tazmoto. That one was 7.720. I'm going to put all these in a current folder for us, by the way. Make it easy. And then we'll just go 8.1 to 9. I think it should let us go. Yeah, and I will talk about the change on one stage upload. So we'll do current release. We'll go ahead and jump to, where's the light version of this? And we'll download light here as well. Okay. This is one thing I should have done before. And look, I need to go get my own link. I closed the damn window. Upgrading. Flow. All right. And that one was 8.1. And then this was 8.5.1. And then I'll put them all in one folder for us on my desktop, so somebody will say something else about my desktop. I'll make a new folder here. Downloads folder. Light. And paste. All right. All right, so what did I miss out on? I still got a blue arrow down here. Yeah, so hopefully I did get them right. Looks like I possibly did 7. Let's leave and see by the size. Hopefully 8.1 smaller, I hope. See, now you can make me second guess, Jim, damn it. That's a, let's see. Let's do 7.2 again. I want to see the size of that one. No telling what's in my downloads folder with the kids and everything. Yeah, 7, that's 464 kilobytes. So yeah, that is right. Okay. So basically you've got a file that's 464 kilobytes. And the way this is, if you come into information and you see this free program space, you need that to be more than your free space. And the reason being is it's kind of like what happens. In a way, it flashes the bin file to that free space, reboots, and flips over to kind of like another partition. So you got to have both bins living on it at the same time. If you don't have enough room, and that's where that two-step comes in, where I know you've always heard that, well, it flashes to minimal and all that. Well, that's what minimal was doing, is it flashed to minimal to free up a bigger block, and then it would allow the like 560 or 570K. So, so I do have enough room on here. So that you do want to start, and I want to really stress this. Do not install only minimal, but to upgrade to full. So don't go, hey, I've got 6.6 and then put 8.1 or 7 minimal. Don't do that. Don't. You're going to end up with an issue. Just cut your losses there. You might as well just drag out the TTL USB and just flash it straight to 9 and call it a day. So don't play with minimal. You need to do the light or classic or whatever, like the ones we downloaded. Now, if you're currently, I've talked with one user, they're like, well, I don't have enough room right now to put light. It keeps failing. So what they did, I've talked them through just to be safe. I think they had like 6.6. We rolled back on GitHub through the releases on the Tazmoto Sonoff, whatever repository, and found the 6.6 light and minimal, and just flashed those and got them on a free enough space on their 6.6. So, so all you have to do is we'll copy the folder path, firmware upgrade. Now, what I do like to do, this is some of the prep stuff I do, is if you do have a device that it could be a light bulb, it could be something weird, it could be, and I know this is not in the upgrade flow, but I just prefer to do this, is I'll go ahead and open me up a, yeah, you could. Now, this is much stone. This is, I think, I don't know if you're asking me that question. This is much easier if you have, but we're trying to do it all OTA, all hands off. Yeah, if you just have access to the pins, yeah, just don't, I would say forego the flow stuff. Just get the latest bin, nuke the flash, put your settings back on it. Nothing wrong with a fresh flash. So what I like to do, yeah, this is for sealed up devices, or it could be in the wall, but if you have, I like to wipe all the settings afterwards. And so if you had any special settings, like we did talk about Rule 1, Rule 2, and Rule 3, if you did have any special rules, I would copy those out just in case you need them for some reason. Copy them out to a notepad somewhere. And if you are using a template for some reason, just type the word template. Copy this out. Now, of course, I'm not using a template. This is a Sonoff SV. This is built in as a module, so I can just pick it, so I'm good. The reason I'm saying this is an older version of the blank word, To Your Convert, did not erase the flash properly, especially back in the 6.5, 6.6 days, right around that time of, and so it would cause some boot loops at times, or it actually, some people wouldn't see it. So what I like to do is just go ahead and do a reset 6. This is on the old version. You want to just start fresh, start blank, whatever. If you want to see every single set option, William, you'd probably have to go and type every single one of them, or you could download the firmware configuration and then use the decoder on it, or you maybe could see it with TDM. But typically the majority of your settings, unless you had a really weird device, the majority of your settings are going to be in rules, switch mode maybe, and the template. That's the majority. And of course your MQTT, but you know your MQTT settings. And if you had a different topic, yeah, you may want to have saved that topic. So, now it will default back to, a lot of times, either depending on the bin, generic module, but typically it's going to default back to Sonoff Basic. What I like to do, this is another just in case, is I like to put my button back, because if for some reason you're going to do the 40-second hold, you can. And there's one other thing. I know the option's not there, but make sure it's not turned on during upgrades. I know we've talked about it before, is the set option 65. I know it's not here in this one, but I like to make sure that one's off. And that is that power recovery where you toggle the power a bunch of times. So if you're taking a light bulb, I think it was in version 7, but say if you're taking a light bulb from 7 to 8, then 9, and you had set option 65 turned on to turn off that power recovery, it's not a bad idea to turn power recovery back on temporarily, just in case. So, so yeah, that's just a little, it's basically just trying to start fresh. So then we'll do firmware upgrade, and we'll paste in Lite 7.20 and hurry up and wait. That would probably take a lot of memory, Aaron. You got to remember there's not a lot of memory on this. There's not a lot of memory. There's not a lot of flash space. They're fitting all of this stuff in like 460 some odd K of space. So, yeah, that's just crazy. There is that config. If you're looking for it in a JSON, now I won't you edit it, but you can view it in the decoder. I'll show you the decoder if you want to see. I've used it a couple times. It's actually on their GitHub if you go into tools. And it is, wasn't it on tools? Yeah, here it is. It's decode config. Oh, look, it's moved. I'm sorry. Looks like it's been moved to, well, it says moved 11 months ago, but then they did an update on 16 hours ago. Oh, maybe it is. Here it is. Decode config. Yeah, convert, backup, restore configuration data. Yeah, so it's uses a human readable and editable JSON. So here, if y'all are wanting to play with that on your it does your config files, the actual DMP files, and you can actually see. I don't know. Let's see what JSON is. There's a bunch of hard to read crap. I know that already. It allows you to go through. I was trying to see if they had a picture of one, but I guess not. Yeah. Here's some of it. You can see a print. It'll print out your different parameters, so you can see stuff. So yeah, go read through. It's gets kind of geeky in there, but yeah. So once you go through and now we got 7.2, follow the flow. We're on 7.2, go to 8.1. Here's 8.1. And just keep going with the lights. And just go through. Who's going? I'm not going, am I? Or is the other guy saying, hey, how'd I get here? I see my thing trying to spin up, but it says excellent condition. All right, I appreciate it, Jim. That screen, look, I'll show you. My screen over here, that freaks me out because it's frozen. It makes me think that I'm frozen, which is, but yet the live counter, and it says excellent condition. So now you can see why I'm just like, wait a minute, am I really here? And then it'll start catching up. You see, that's just very weird. So. So, boom, we're on 8.1. And still following the flow. And we'll go to current release. Yeah, I did talk a bunch of stuff through. So, and it's a bunch of little steps, but once you do it on a few and you have your files set up, you can just blow through them. So here's 8.51 light. I probably could have skipped to 9, but I don't know. It doesn't say that. It says current release. We'll upgrade to dev 9, so I want to show you that. So no, that's fine, Aaron. We'll get to some other questions towards the end stuff. So yeah, I like to update a bunch of my stuff. You know, I may update 5 or 6 switches and then let it ride for a few days, and I'll upgrade a bunch of other stuff. So, yeah, and I actually use, I'll show you how I do that. I do have a few that I can upgrade, and I'll show you how I do it with TDM, if y'all want to see that. Yeah, so now we should be at 8.5 in here somewhere once this reboots and reflashes. If that screen is going to pull up. There it goes. So we're 8.5.1. Yes, there is a way to back, but it has some risk. So now we're 8.5.1, and what I like to do is, now we're going to go to dev because we need to be on 9.03. To get the link is we'll go to the Tazmoto GitHub. I know it's probably in the Tazmoto docs, but I know it's right here in here. If you look here where it says, I always look for this 1 to 2 hours for changes, and you should see the OTA link here. And if you go to now, a lot of people don't know this, but you can use the GZ versions. That's the gzips, and it will upgrade to those automatically. But we'll just copy in the link, copy link address, and we'll go to firmware upgrade, and we'll paste it over this URL, and we'll probably see the 2-step here. This is what freaks people out, is the 2-step. That's going to mix up in the chat. Let's do it here. So you hit start upgrade, and I like to open a ping session to it. I want to say, I think Patrick knows. I think it was like 8.2, I think. It was 8.2 or 8.3. And you can tell it's upgrading. You see how the pings get all crazy? Because you got to remember these are single core chips. And when they start doing other stuff, it doesn't have time to do Wi-Fi. And you can see right now it's actually flashing something. Yeah, don't touch it. I always tell people, hey, if you want to get to the latest version, you're doing the OTA, from the OTA URL, and remember, you cannot have it blocked on your router when you do that, by the way, is I mashed the button, come back in 5 minutes. So 8.2, 8.3 started the gzips. Okay. So you can see it came back, and I'll let it sit just in case it wants to do the second step. I'll kind of wait for either the window to come back behind there, or I'll wait for the ping times to just stabilize and come back down. Or I'll find something else to do and just come back. That's the best thing. Just have some patience. Because you'll see it's on minimal. Don't let that freak you out on the minimal. It's downloading it right now. But if you start messing with the web interface while it's downloading it, bad things can happen. So what am I missing about ESP Home? Yeah, ESP Home is it's good. It's just it's a totally different project. I like ESP Home for a lot of the different sensors and stuff like that. But all these pre-built relays and switches and buttons, just something satisfying about just going and clicking in the GUI and not figuring out code and stuff. Just makes it easy for me. I guess not having to edit the YAML code, probably some of the same reasons why I don't do a whole lot of automations in Home Assistant, but yet do Node-RED, because you don't have to know a lot of code or go Google code. So, so it's back, and now we're on 9.0.3. So you say, hey, you're done. What I like to do is, because like you'll notice here, you notice the web color is set wrong. And I like to go ahead and, because you'll notice the host name is Sonoff, and probably the group topic is Sonoff's. It's supposed to be Tazmota's. I like to, once I get way up in that version, I like to go ahead and do a reset 6. And what reset 6 does is that erases all the flash, sets all the defaults, except for your Wi-Fi and your MQTT settings. Reset 5 does everything except for your Wi-Fi settings. And now I should be able to see the different color if I refresh the page. So, so that sets everything back now. So it's set as Sonoff Basic, but I need to set it as Sonoff SV. So it can be a little, if you got 30 devices that are on 6.6, yeah, it could take a little bit of time. Yeah, and if I know you keep asking, I've saw that twice. If you the web color stuff, if you automatically it brings it in if you did want to reset your stuff, but if you need the web color commands, you can grab them out of the docs. And this is the web color, the default direct. If you just copy this entire, which here's the copy, if you copy that entire thing to the clipboard, it'll, and just paste it in the console. You can also publish it using MQTT. It's up to you. You know, you could copy this one, this navy one, and just a matter of pasting it in. It's just a big JSON thing. And then you do have to refresh the page. So, yes, there is, Yosef. You can do a really good one. Now, it's not like, see, and that's one of the advantages I will say with ESP Home, because you can easily set some of those periods and stuff for different polling of different sensors. And that's why I like to do those different sensors. But is, what was I trying to say? Oh, here it is. In the rules cookbook, I want to say it's features, and I'll post a link so you don't have to go digging. If you go to rules and then search for delta, there is one that has transmit sensor value when delta is reached. Oops. Look, I'm about to post another web color myself. If I can find the right screen, copy link and paste. So this one allows you to set a rule of basically what this one was is, I think it looks like it has to be 2 degrees difference, and then it publishes. It's kind of like doing the power delta command with on power monitoring. Now, if you're trying to do just power monitoring, you don't have to do that. It's already, cause I know it's a very common one I get. It's like, hey, I want my power monitoring. Anytime I have a big change in power monitoring, I want it to report immediately. Well, there is one in for power. If you do the power delta command, you can say, just do power delta space, and then you set the percentage of change. So if you just said, hey, I want to see a 5% change, you could put power delta 5, and it would, anytime there's a 5% change, it would drop a new Mqtt publish to update the power. And that way you get that pretty instant power update. So, so yeah, there you can make up your own color schemes. I know in the code, they talk about what each of these values are. If you look in like the my user config, you can find out what all these web hex values are. So, so that's really about it on the upgrade. I know I get that one kind of common. It's a lot. All right, Justin, thanks for hanging out. And I know you were all asking about batches. Hey, how do I do it? So let's do that. Let's show some cool stuff, right? That upgrading was boring, and it's long. So I usually, where's my TDM? And I'll give it time to catch up here. And where's my chat? I'm gonna drop my chat. And while that's pulling up, I want to make sure. So TDM takes a little bit to pull up if you have a lot of devices. It uses MQTT. I'm going to do that one on the 20. So let me put this in here right quick while that's still populating. I have a web server, just a little engine, how you would say it. Now you could do this the other way. I just build my own. Oh, I do have those already. Okay. I have it already in there. No, I do not use Tazmo admin. Do not. I have not used it in a couple of years. The reason being, let me switch. I did bring 2 drinks on purpose. Yeah, I'm kind of weird. I do the giveaways towards the beginning. I don't make y'all sit through my entire rant. Look, I did kind of say it right. Nginx. Device numbers. I have 68 right now. So, 68 Tazmoto devices. Tazmo admin, I had issues back it was because of the way Tazmo admin was constantly hitting on all the devices with HTTP. I had some devices that didn't have the best. They were okay signal, but they were not the best, and they had power monitoring, and they were sewn off S31s. And I could not figure out why those devices kept rebooting and falling off the network. And I figured out it was anytime I had Tazmo admin started, it was caused those devices to watchdog reset. And so after that, I just started, yeah, I know I probably maybe they have changed some stuff with the polling interval, it just became Tazmo rebooter for me, because it was like clockwork. I could start up my Docker container of Tazmo admin and reboot those 3 or 4 plugs, no problem. Boom. So that's maybe they have switched to Mqtt, and because it's going to be easier on the device, but it's just I don't use it, so I don't have the need for it. I won't do upgrades through it. You'll see how I do upgrades here. I'm sizing this. This is all using Mqtt, and that's as small as I can get it. So, and I've known there's more people that, yeah, it does cause a lot of MQTT. Even TDM causes a lot of MQTT. But how, let me see. I run a separate container of just Mqtt on my Unraid box. Even with this running, with all these devices, Mqtt is pulling, I might drag it over here. Let's see. Well, I don't know if I should share it. We'll just, I'm pulling 0.02% CPU time and only using 5 megabytes of memory with the whole Mqtt container. So, but so this is all of my devices. And what I flip over to is I go to firmware, and now your OTA URL can be whatever, if it's whatever, it's going, like right here, you can see here's that, I do have one here that yours might probably be set something like this. And they did actually do a change today it uses the gzip files. So it potentially, in most cases, possibly may get rid of that 2-step flash. I haven't tested that yet. So I do compile my own bins for multiple reasons, but so I have that little Nginx with my little bin file on here, so I have my OTA. Now this doesn't make a difference. So I can see, I'll come in here and I sort by version, and you can see I have some 8501s and I have some 903s, I have some 902s, etc. So like this guy, I'll take and like this, say this fan that is 902. It's a MJ switch. I know it's right over on the other side. I use I think it's a Spanx one, Mark. Really simple. If you double click on the device, it automatically in TDM opens up the console on that device. And all I do is go upgrade space 1. And you can see right here, it's doing upgrade from 902. And then I'll go ahead, and if I get out the way, I'll close this little console. And I may do a few, like I say, I'll do a few of them. And you can actually see it. It just went offline. So the last Will and Testament published, and the device went offline because it is upgrading. And now you can see it's back, and boom. Now it's on 903. It's that simple. If I really was going to live dangerously, and I have done it before, actually on a whale live stream before I even had green screen stuff, is you could just do an MQTT publish. If this is another cool thing. If you come into TDM, if you go to Mqtt, you can see your group topics and you can sort by the group topics. And if you wanted to publish to a group topic, you could at one time, you could go through and send a message of, and you could actually do it from another device. Let's see. You can actually do it from right here, actually. I'm not going to. I don't want to upgrade all of my devices at once, and then I'll have hell break loose and while I'm on a live stream. You could do a publish. I know it's small, but I can't make it any bigger. Command Tazmota's upgrade space 1. And if you sent that, it would, now some of you older devices may have the topics flipped, where it may be Tazmota's or it may be Sonoff's. So it may be Sonoff's, the slash and then command. So you could do a big batch of them. And so if you kind of had all your stuff straight and you were good and you were fine with upgrading them like that, you could just do a whole batch and boom, just do one Mqtt command and do them and be done. So it's pretty cool. I like to do them kind of separate. TDM. I don't like to do them all at once. This is TDM. It's a Tasmota device manager. I think it's really powerful for doing stuff. I know I've showed it before. But like some of the cool stuff you can do in here is you can go, it's easier to see the rules. And I know this is small, but I can't really zoom the screen, I don't think. It's not as small on your actual screen. But it's easy to read out the rules, and you can see the VARs and the rule timers. You can change the different rules. It's so much easier to do stuff if you're trying to manage some of your devices. You can do it right here in TDM. The firmware wouldn't write. I don't know what, if you get that buffer miscompare, that means there's not enough room, by the way. Yeah, it's a very good idea. With the Node Red flow, you could have some little injects where you click buttons. I've seen someone else that had an idea because there's 4 group topics now. And they assigned, and like, some people don't need all those group topics. And what I mean by all the group topics is when you type group topic, if you've gone in, you've got group topic 1, 2, 3, and 4. You could do group topic 2, and you could call it like your alpha switches or something like that. And so now you have alpha. Well, you could assign that alpha as group topic 2, 3, or 4, or whatever it is to a bunch of devices. And so if you then wanted to do publish command alpha upgrade space 1, you could, and you had it to say 6 devices, and that's like, hey, that's my alpha test devices that I want to test the new versions on. So you could just, boom, it would upgrade all 6 of those in one shot, and then you could later do your other ones. So what else did I miss? All right, Ivan, I know we kind of covered a bunch of stuff, so I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Definitely helps out. So Q&A. Y'all think of some questions. I don't know. Maybe y'all can give me some simple ones or stump me or whatever. I did have a couple things I wanted to mess with. Not mess with per se, but oh, and if you're not using Tazmo Backup, use it. We were talking about that earlier. Tazmo Backup, I think it's V1. I'll post a link here. How do you do blue iris? Okay, blue iris. The so the Tazmo Backup, if I've showed that before, is I like Tazmo Backup. Let me shut down TDM. What projects do you have? Okay. We can do that. Tazmo Backup is a the DS01C. That seems to be a hot topic these days. Tazmo Backup, if you're not using it, it's pretty cool. You can install. It's really simple to install. Here's the way to do it using the if you're running like HASS.io with Supervisor. They got Docker and Compose. You can do it raw. They got all different ways you can to install it. So it's like pretty much going to cover everybody. And it backs up. It goes to your devices and backs up the settings, and it will back up all of the firmware. If for some reason you lose it for whatever reason, and you have all, like, see, this one has 57 copies. I think I have it doing daily or something. Well, another thing I like to use it for is just managing my devices. That way I have one-stop shop that's not constantly polling my devices. If I want to jump into this dimmer, then I just go ahead and click the link. And boom, I'm in that dimmer. And I'm not having to go dig in my router and DHCP and digging in Tazmo admin and all this. It's just one simple little thing. Doesn't really take any CPU time. Has all of my stuff. I can sort it by version. It's pretty simple. It's Tazmo Backup. So it's free. So I'm not trying to get you to buy nothing. Tuya Convert doesn't work. Yes, the DS01C. That is an issue with the Tuya MCU on it. Will not let go of the RX TX line. So a lot of people have found they had to cut those traces. I don't have one. Patrick is probably in here. What file editor was all black? You're when you use file editor. Which file editor? Notepad++? I think I have a black theme in there. Which other? Yeah, that probably. I think you can use Dark Reader, but also another one. I don't edit files too often on Home Assistant, but if you can run also, there's a Visual Studio Code one. I don't know if you can change the theme in File Editor. We already did the Streambolt. We already did the giveaway. We did that way at the beginning. I'm definitely a different one. We do the giveaway at the beginning. The VS Code, if you but I know it's not all. You can't use Visual Studio Code on every single device. So yeah, that I think it's not doesn't. I don't know if it works on the Pi yet. I don't know if someone can maybe add on to that. But Visual Studio Code will let you come in and edit your the YAML and stuff like that, and it's a pretty cool editor. So and I'll be honest with you, most of the time I edit straight through Samba or a file share of some sort, and I just edit through Notepad++ a lot, be honest with you, because all this, like, I know you're talking about iframe. The iframe stuff drives me nuts, and my ADD would just kick in, and I just want just a straight text editor without going through the web. But you know, there's multiple ways to do it. Yeah, so cutting the traces. I don't have a picture. I don't know if someone has sent me some pictures of them. We did find the chip. It's a chip made. MCU is made for to that device, and there's no reset line on it. So that's the only problem with that one. If you what are the advantages of the device manager is you can the TDM, you can jump straight into the consoles and do like your upgrade commands real quickly. So and you can see all the it's more of an active display, because you noticed I was just sitting there running my mouth and we watched it go offline, come back, and then update the version. Yeah, I think there was they found the data sheet to it, but there's no reset line on it. Yeah, there is no reset. I don't have one. If someone had, it seems like there would be there's got to be a capacitor that's some sort of SMD component capacitor that would be not too bad to unsolder to remove power from that chip. And maybe that would let go of those RX-TX lines. So that's kind of what I was thinking on that. And the reason why I went there was it was the way I was going to go on this fan controller. But then when I looked down, they had the wonderful reset actually labeled for us and broken out. So, so yeah, that's kind of what you're looking for there. But on the other side, I don't have a picture of this side here, do I? No, I don't. I was trying to see if they had a capacitor that powered the MCU. There is... I had to do another dimmer before with a, yeah, I bet you VS Code would kill the Pi. I don't know the answer to that one on the file editor. I don't use that file editor that often. Oh, actually I had to do it right here on that rotary dimmer thing, but I had it for the Martin Jerry. I had to do the rotary dimmer. You had to hold the reset. I'm looking for a picture, by the way. I'm not just ignoring y'all. I know it may sound like I just left, but I've got a picture of a outdoor dimmer that luckily they did have a reset pin on, and I'm just trying to remember when I did it. I'm looking through all my pictures. Stuff like this I should save off to the side, right? I know it's coming up close. I'm watching not be able to find it. I'm scrolling too fast for it. Here it is. All right. So is this one 3 conversations at once? This one luckily had a reset pin, and I was able to, you had to ground this reset pin the entire time. It was not broken out. This was the idea I was talking about. I was looking at the data sheet. One of these capacitors actually feeds VCC. I think it was this pin here. And I was looking at going to remove this capacitor because it wouldn't be too bad to unsolder that and put it back if you were careful. It's kind of out in the open. But then I did look up and I found, well, hey, there's a reset pin there. And so I did the reset. So yeah, that DS01C, that dimmer seems to be a pain. Just get a different dimmer. Get a Martin Jerry dimmer. You want to deal with the stupid 2U MCU anyway, right? Not the rotary one. What else? Oh, before I got sidetracked. Getting sidetracked here. Let me pull my photos down before I end up showing all my kid photos. Here, well, look, I got a break in something. Here's something cool. I don't know if Alex is still here. I know maybe because he's just got an airplane thing or something. Maybe that's what maybe I'll maybe misconstrue what he does. Yeah, the capacitive touch is cool. Yeah, so this will definitely get me squirreled for a bit. I posted this in Discord, and I do have video of it, by the way. I may compile something later on, but so yeah, and no, I don't work for Martin Jerry, though. I do not. I don't even own it. I wish I owned some maybe stock in it or something. I probably should. But this is not home automation. This was kind of cool that actually Owen, in which he just turned 6 last month. He was able to go up into a Cessna, and this guy takes up a lot of different kids and actually let him fly. And of course, his hand was split seconds away from the yoke if something bad did happen, and they were up. You could see they were up pretty high, but it was pretty cool that once he saw he figured out that he was in control and could tip the wings back and forth. It's just the look on his face was priceless. So pretty cool. The guy takes up a lot of different kids and tries to get them interested in aviation to keep them interested in school, and he's done some stuff with some kids that had some terminal illnesses and stuff. So it's pretty cool what he does. So he's real good with the kids. So I had GoPro footage of him flying the plane. The only thing I wish I would have had is the intercom. So. But that was something I was like, I never even did that, so it's pretty cool. But all right, Federico. I did have some other stuff. I don't know how long I've been on. Probably way too long to begin with. I still do have work tomorrow, but. Yeah. I wasn't going to... Whoa. Let the camera adjust before I switch it, right? So I hadn't played with it yet. There is the... I did play with... There's the... If I can move this up. I haven't seen, I don't know if y'all, this looks like let's focus this. The Sonoff minis. This is the Zigbee Sonoff minis. Yeah, I'm sorry. That was if you were in a dark room, I'm really sorry. Yeah, so this is I wired it up. I don't know if I had time to play with it. I haven't even... I took it out because why not? We're supposed to take everything apart, right? That's what they tell us. But you've seen the Sonoff. I'm not really a big fan of the Sonoff minis and the Wi-Fi version. This is the Wi-Fi version. I know you're all familiar with that one with you can see the little circle, the ESP chip. I wanted to see what the difference was. I haven't even looked myself. Did they change a whole lot? Not a lot, and I will see if I can get the glare off. I don't know why I say everybody's switching to Zigbee. It does make it easier for folks because it is local, but so this is the Zigbee one on the left. Yeah, you can tell. This one has that weird antenna out the side I didn't like. And then, yeah, so I just didn't reason I didn't like the minis was because, and someone's going to screenshot that one later, is just because I didn't have the pins really broken out easy. And I don't know. It's kind of it doesn't have as many jumpers you need, which is good with the say a Shelly 1. But I guess it's just back to it's for the U.S. We just had so many. I know I'm not well, Travis, you're just you're have everything over there because there's like 5 million different damn switches they seem to have with ESPs in them. So it does make it easy for me just to take like a Martin Jerry switch, a Treat Life switch, or whatever, and just throw it in the wall and be done. But I know a lot of people do like the minis for different things. But yeah, so it's cool to have an option for doing the Zigbees. On this, the Zigbee one is on the left here. Let's get it out the glare. And know that you're not having to do any type of flashing or anything like that. I use the Zigbee. If y'all want to look at it close, and I will fix the. If I get the camera to stop, I'm getting a different camera thing. I promise. It looks like this the same exact chip that they have in the Sonoff bridge. It's like MG21. It's the same exact chipset that's in the Sonoff bridge, Sonoff Zigbee bridge. So if y'all want to look at that somewhere. But yeah, so there's no trying to flash stuff to it and just pair it up and go. Yeah, so I did have, which I don't have time here, I did have another Sonoff Zigbee bridge to pair it up to, and we were gonna maybe done, but I got way too long-winded. We're an hour and a half already, so yeah, we just need to. The Z-Wave guy now, right? I don't like Z-Wave, but that's just my. I don't say I don't like Z-Wave. Z-Wave doesn't like me. That's what it is. There you go. So, just I have interference issues, but Zigbee works fine. Now for Zigbee, I use a lot of. And I say a lot is for Zigbee. I don't use a whole lot of like mains powered sensors because I prefer to do just MQTT, and that way I don't have dependencies on different radios, because really if Wi-Fi is not working in my house, I'm probably going to fix it fairly quickly. So for Zigbee, there's just no, like the little motion sensors, there's different Zigbee door sensors. You just can't beat them on the battery stuff. So, anyone found a way to add a sensor on? Yeah. See, and that's another thing that I like to do, is just being able to add stuff to it. Yeah, I've had issues with the Z-Wave. But I don't know if it's a 900 megahertz issue and having a lot of 900 megahertz around here or something. I have no idea. So we got Mohammed singing. I guess maybe he's thinking about the Zigbee stuff, or maybe he must be sleeping or high. But so we got 10 more minutes before I do have to jet. So we'll just do boring stuff of questions, and we'll so Wise versus one cat on keyboard. So Wise versus Zigbee. I would, here's the thing: if you can get Wise, get Wise. If you're doing motion and door sensors, I'll do Wise. If you're doing temperature and a bunch of other stuff. Like for instance, someone had sent me a pretty cool little device. If I can get it. Let me pull up the screen and it kind of fits my rules of, I don't like to mess with the safety devices in my house. And I'll kind of explain real quick. I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. But it's another Zigbee device. And I thought it was kind of cool. I need to figure out how to test it, though. And I know I got to answer that other thing that Jim wanted to ask me about. Is I got too many windows open. So it's basically, I know we get a lot of questions like, hey, what about smoke detectors and stuff? I want to tie them into Home Assistant without using the cloud. I don't like to really go hack and solder on safety devices. Like I wouldn't make my own seat belts in my own car. That's just not me. I don't want to rely on my DIY abilities for something that's, possibly life-saving. So I'm not going to mess with smoke detectors. Now, maybe I could add some, but I would still have some smoke detectors somebody else made that were approved. Well, this was kind of cool that this little device was Zigbee, and it's not that big, and it's battery powered, and you can screw it in the wall. It did pair up with Home Assistant, GHA, no problem, and it even has temperature on it. And it will just listen for your smoke detectors and then let you know over Zigbee. So I thought that was kind of cool. So questions. Someone else asked, how do you see Blue Iris remotely? I manage that computer using VNC, and I also use the GUI. I guess that rule is too long, and it won't compress. It's kind of like the old days of compressing video files. They ended up bigger after you zipped them. Fireplace switch. I don't know on that one. I've seen people use like Sonoff SVs and stuff for that one. Stone's got a really good question about one of the starlights, huh? Wise cams. Don't. I had, maybe it was during the beginning, that RTSP firmware was not that great. And it would cause issues, and then the PTZ controls drove me nuts. So I would stick with a camera that, like, say something, an indoor camera, Amcrest or Reolink or something that lets you do those PTZ. And it comes with RTSP out the box. So, all right, Will, take it easy. And while I have this somewhere. If I could find out where it's at, I'll let this while I run my mouth in the background. I thought I would have it, but so yeah, you took a baseball bat to your Dahua. I did order a Wisecam 3. And just because I want to see what it does have the Starlight. MQTT battery powered. The problem with that is the delay. Because you want that device to sleep. You could do maybe you'd probably really get into doing like, if you were really wanting like that, is the doing the ESP Now stuff. That was pretty quick and it lets it sleep. I know there was a guy, I can't remember, in Australia that was doing a bunch of little ESP Now like remotes. I'd probably get something. If you want something quick on the with switch with buttons or something, either like 433 megahertz or some Zigbee stuff. You just that it really excels. I have seen some people do some Y stuff with buttons and switches as well, like some 3D printed stuff. So why you see it suck? Usually everybody loved the Dahua. But yeah, just MQTT is sleeping Wi-Fi devices that are ESP8266 are just the delay is gonna suck because it has to wake up, then it has to connect to the Wi-Fi, and then it has to connect to MQTT, and then it has to publish the message, and then it has to go back to sleep. And that is an eternity of you trying to push the button. It's like you push the button, you're like, when's the light gonna turn on? And a second or two later, and then finally the light turns on. So yeah, that's just hands down the Zigbee stuff is gonna be. That's just you just can't beat it. The battery is just gonna last forever. Probably, if it depends on how much you push the button, you know. So, but yeah, 8 seconds. I didn't think it was gonna be that long, but apparently it is that long. Yeah, that's way too long. You definitely can't wait for that. Yeah. Zigbee. Oh, yeah, I have seen those battery-less ones. I just don't know how well they work out. Is it mostly like work off of like some kinetic energy or something like that? Yeah, I don't know if I would do it. Does if you do a static IP, it will lessen the amount of time with the static IP, and so it's not going to take as long. I'm looking for a file, by the way. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, I haven't messed with any of the. I haven't messed with any of the Honeywell cameras before. Well, I have the. Was it Honeywell? I think it is. Maybe it's not Honeywell. So this I just run. I'm gonna run this in the background while I'm not gonna run the audio. You're not gonna be able to hear it. And instead of looking at a blank background, if I can get it to size correctly. Let's see if I can hit play on it. Why did it stop playing? Here it is. Let me turn that off. But a plugapede. Oh, I saw y'all posting pictures on about the plugapedes earlier, and it was where y'all had like about 10 or 15 plugs together. So 8 seconds worse than IFTT. It should be anything that's you should not be using IFTT anymore. So right. So, so what other? I'm trying to. There was other. Jim was asking about other projects I had going on. I'm trying to think. I had the Zigbee stuff going on. I still got to set up my stupid simple Christmas lights and Halloween lights. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I may catch some of that, but it's a stupid simple setup. So, y'all probably been beat to death by other channels with Christmas lights and stuff. So, but so yeah, this was that clip I was telling you about where he was teaching him how to fly. So and what other questions do we have out there? I don't know if I missed any. I know we went through a bunch of stuff with Home Assistant and Tasmota Integration and all kind of stuff. Well, welcome back, Home. Back home, Ace. See, look, your name just fits, right? So, so if we don't have any other questions, I do appreciate y'all hanging out. I'm just trying to look and see if there's anything. Yeah, he's definitely, definitely, he wants to do that. I don't think I have, yeah, I use VLC player. What else should I use? And it's just going to resize. Great, right? Looks like I'm in the airplane now, right? Which I was later, but Aaron had one. Did I answer his? The other projects I have, I know they got that Nest integration going on. Well, I'm finally going to get rid of, I've had enough with my Nest thermostat. I want to, I'm playing around with one with Open API on it, and I'm testing it out on the side first. So kind of going some side by side stuff. So, switch to Brave. I ain't heard of Brave. Why is everything Z-Wave or Zigbee? Doctor. I use the W. The W. That's two V's put together. See, that's for the Wi-Fi. The drone. I upgraded it. I flew it a little bit. Yeah, now I will leave my smoke detectors as Nest. Like I say, I'm leaving that out, but I want to get rid of my thermostat. So, yeah. So the drone, I had an issue with the video transmitter on it, and so I've got it in pieces right now. If you were wondering, I think I showed it last. I did show a couple little clips of it at the end of some recent videos. I want to say it was at the end of, was it this one? And it's going to probably start playing the audio for me too, which is great. Yeah. So I'll probably break into something with that later. Yeah, I showed part of it here. If people were wondering where is it at? Was it here? Yeah. So there was a home built, and I did show it at the end on here. So if you ever get bored, a lot of times I'll mark the best part on the videos. That's probably because I put some stupid clip at the end. And it probably has nothing really to do with home automation stuff, but it's just to kind of add stuff to put at the end of the video. So, but yeah, so I had some video transmitter issues on it, and I've been learning a little better on flying it and stuff, but I've got some different pieces I want to fix and stuff on it. So, but I'm getting there slowly on it. Multi-room audio setup. I'll be honest with you. I just have a bunch of Google Home. I said the word speakers, and I just have them in groups, and we say, hey, play on this group, and it plays. So that was kind of the thing that we do. I don't have anything that's like Raspberry Pi built or anything. I guess I just some simplicity. I had it before I even did Home Assistant. So, if y'all were, I know that they were. So which one? What do you like? Home Ace. Yeah, I wanted something simple. Yeah, you could do the same thing with the Echoes. And I just wanted something simple, easy to do. And it was, we already had it set up before. I mean, that was just what it was just pretty cool of what we had going on. So, Yeah, this is a little bit better if you're curious. I'm not going to resize that. Um, that was the home. I would say homemade, but it's built and a lot of soldering and stuff for the acrobatic drone. I wouldn't say it's really a drone, more of a. It's not for going and looking at stuff. It's just for fun flying. It's not like, hey, let's go look at this field and take pictures of this mountain. That's not what it's for. Definitely not it. So what are you running on Unraid these days? Pretty much the same. I'm running. My production Home Assistant is here. I don't think I have anything crazy on it. Let me see if I can size it right up. I know I said I had 10 minutes, but let's see. I don't have anything crazy on it. I don't do any crazy GUI stuff. This is actually just a quick one, but it turned into not quick. It's usually a bunch of stuff with. I kind of cleaned it up. I went through. Usually had a bunch of yellow stuff in here. I just don't use the GUI a whole lot, except for maybe probably the most I use it is in live streams. Is actually so I don't have to call out or whatever because we use a lot of automations in voice. Yeah, this is probably about the only fancy thing I have is a graph. Maybe, well, I guess I have some electric stuff still for doing the whole home. And this is way blown out. I guess I should shrink this with looking at different power monitoring plugs and stuff. But then the clamps for the whole home and but I don't really bring in cameras in here. We don't look at them in here. Yeah. And then even I like a lot of the shortcuts. Like I can't stand like all the digging for stuff. So I just I want server control. So boom, I want server control. I want Mqtt devices. I want integrations. I don't want to have to go through and jump and find stuff and dig through the configuration. And I did hide this. I don't know why it's back. I hid the map and the logbook and the history. I just don't use them. I know if you click and hold here and take the history off and the map, and a lot of times I'll just change and I just keep it simple. So, and we just don't use the GUI a whole lot of things. So, oh, really? You can't play multiple music? Okay. Cameras, I had a camera on the other one, but I think it's actually blank. Yeah, see, it's a blank thing on there. For server control, I just use the Unraid GUI. I'll post that in Discord. Oh, sorry, I mean to bump the thing. I'll post that in Discord after of the YAML that someone else sent me to put those links on the sides here where you can jump into server control and MQTT and integrations. You could do the same thing if you wanted to jump into, I thought this was my production one. If you wanted to jump into, look, I get I don't know, the MQTT devices or the Zigbee's devices, so you could just jump in. So, asking about the drone and the camera. That's actually, it's a run cam, I believe. It's an analog camera because it's just for the FPV portion. And normally I'll either run a GoPro 7 or I will run my GoPro 9 if I'm not doing anything crazy on it. So for the real stuff. Cool, Jeff. So that's about it. if you have any other crazy questions, and I'll remember to put that in the Discord of look, I'll go do it right now before I forget, because I will forget. I can't I can't paste it here. It's just too big and it's gonna get chopped up. And you just got to add this to your configuration YAML file. And let me grab it before I jet out of here. Let me pull up this notepad. Is your config entry is going to be a little bit different. So it's name, config, name. Yeah. So I did not write this. I modified it to make it work. And I'm going to throw it in general. Oh, and look, he's got the picture of that dimmer. I didn't see it. I'm getting to read all the comments. And see, there's a thing about Discord. When you're in streaming mode, it turns off the notifications so I don't get buzzed with all the stuff. And I'm posting it in the main of... You will need to change... There's a config entry that is... I'll show you the text here, but it's not going to be in YAML. I posted it in YAML code on my main Discord, so you can just copy and paste it. But this code, I found this UID code or whatever they call it, I'm sure they got a real name for it, is different per installation I found. And so I just go get that actually off the installation. So how I do that is I just go in here and say, go to integrations and say I want the MQTT devices. And you can see it at the bottom of my screen if I'm hovered over it. See, it says 4 devices and it's got the E9B97 garbage. And I just copy and paste that straight into there. And once you put those panel customs, it will pop those custom ones. And then I just went to the MDI, the material design icons, and found some different icons that kind of made sense to me and threw them in there. So I'm not the creator behind who did all this wizardry or whatever here. I just kind of modified it. That's a lot what I do. Spoiler alert. Did I read HA117 release notes? I skimmed them. Was there something I crazily missed that I should have seen in there? I'm not trying to dog on anything. I don't use the GUI a whole lot, and I don't use automations. So when I was looking at some of the stuff like the quick bar, I saw the quick bar. I said, man, I could kind of see that, but I just don't use the GUI a lot. The compact header, I know that's the thing with doing. That was something you had to take. They had to do a custom component, I believe, but I don't do a whole lot of GUI stuff. Xbox, I have an Xbox, but I don't know what I would want to integrate with it. So I kind of skipped through it. And really, I was really kind of scrolling through looking for new integrations. I saw the Tazmoto. And then I went through and I looked in breaking changes. So that's kind of the bulk of what I know. I'm not trying to cut down on anybody's work because I know it's a pain to do a lot of that stuff. But just a lot of stuff doesn't apply to me on the way. So when I just looked for different breaking changes, that would really hit me. That's really the first thing I do when I just jump straight to breaking changes. I'll be honest with you. I'm like, okay, what's going to break? And then I usually kind of wait out the upgrade. So, yeah, the quick bar, I haven't really played with it yet, but again, I keep a very simple GUI. We don't use it that much. Most everything is done through automations of what based on different things in the house. So, but yeah. It's all right. We've been running way past what I wanted to. And I do appreciate everybody hanging out and going through the upgrade stuff. We didn't get to everything, but that's perfectly fine. We can just probably do another one. And we can, maybe I'll eventually get to do a day one where I can get the other time zones in. So maybe we'll figure that one out eventually. I've done it one way back. I was just totally off my game. But we'll figure it out. So Node-RED, yes, that is on my horizon for a Node-RED video. I'm trying to do some other Node-RED stuff. So I'm trying to think what else. I'm trying to think. I'm just looking around other projects I have in line. So I don't really have anything crazy. So it's kind of whatever comes up. All right, well, y'all got any questions? Jump in the Discord. Appreciate you hanging out. And hopefully learn something through the rambling. I don't know. Or maybe got you away from reading the stupid news. Whatever works. So